Last week the gig in the lobby was kind of the final chapter in Bass Odyssey.
Bass Odyssey as, you know, as an entity, I suppose, has ceased to exist. It was a shock, because I mean the last few gigs that we did, I thought we all enjoyed them, you know, and on stage at the time it seemed like that we were all having fun, you know, and I thought there was a rapport between us, and I was shocked to learn that, you know, he wasn't enjoying it as much as he used to.
With that, it's sad to see him go, because
we missed him with some great times, the best. So, Chris, come on, I love you.
He'll always be a good mate of mine, like, you know, and I wish him every success in the future.
I mean, there's never any bad feelings because we're all the best of friends, you know, and we all, you know, this past six years has forged a great friendship between us all, and that'll never die, you know. I hope, you know, I mean, that he can, you know, find another musical project or whatever that makes him as happy as we did in the past.
All these people in the case in pain, all the lies and the things they say, they ain't only answer for that, so negative and out, get down, need a break. All these people in the case in pain, all the lies and the things they say, they ain't only answer for that, so negative and out, get down, need a break. I'm erratic, dramatic, crazy by nature, it goes a bad breed, bad seed, 2K, 58.
My first time ever meeting Alan, he was walking down the street and he sort of said hello to me, and I didn't know who he was just this young fella.
We hooked up at parties and stuff like that, you know. He was DJing and I was DJing, and it was just like click straight away, you know. So I
remember meeting him the first time, and he was just like a young fella who was going out with this girl who was working in a bar that I was working in, and I remember he used to be always back after hours, just this little mad lunatic bundle of energy fella, like, and then we sort of we realised that we're both sort of mad little lunatic bundle of energies, and we ended up going on the piss, and many a session later, I think I got some equipment and we decided then to do this whole Bass Odyssey thing, so. I suppose like at the beginning it was really sort of like a pet project that sort of ended up taking on arms and legs. In one respect, like, it was something new because we were sort of pushing the boundaries of electronic and live music at the time.
Well, nobody was really doing a whole live PA kind of thing, you know, with MC, DJ and drums and samples and sequences and stuff, like 4 or 5 people on the stage playing drum and bass.
So it sort of mutated then into what we knew was Bass Odyssey.
Actually, we were getting booked up and down the country, still writing music, trying to get music in and trying to get into the studio and trying to do a few bits and pieces. All of a sudden, we have a record out.
I mean, I think the plan sort of came into place when Quadrophonic came on board, and they brought us to Europe and they brought us to America, and you know, through them, like, gave us a wealth of opportunities really, and we were very lucky at the time really to sort of to come across people who were willing to sacrifice their time and money and patience as well, like, to 2 lunatics from Cork.
First single, Twilight, which done really, really well, and it was taken on board by No Disco as their theme tune, and it went up for an award in the first Smirnoff Awards, and it won the award, and then we were back doing a tour, and again trying to write more music for the follow-up, which is Remarkable Soul, and that went into the charts, went to number 2, toured on that, madness, everywhere, anywhere, parties, award ceremonies.
There was always people who came with us to the shows back in the early days, and I mean right up to the current period really, because I mean there's nothing better than going away to a strange town, or not a strange town but a different town with a bunch of your friends and having fun. So I suppose, I mean, there was always some great times back in the early days. I mean, loads of numerous instances, too many to mention, involved in hotels and various states of lunacy and undress and copious amounts of alcohol. You know, it was all good fun though. You know what I mean? It never really sort of got out of hand, but there was always a good crack to be had. Like, I mean, and I suppose it's the way we've all remained really good friends throughout the whole time. Yeah. And all the people that we worked with in the past, like, they've all remained good friends with us as well, because you know, we just had so many good times together. You know, it's very hard to forget those things.
Yeah, it was cool to win the award and, you know, the magazines and all that, but bottom line was all we wanted to do was just write music and play live.
things like the awards and stuff like that, they were just nice, you know. I mean, I don't think they really stand for much. It was more like a pat in the back for the lads, you know. And whereas things like doing Deep Blue Sea, that's a different kettle of fish altogether, because it's something that exists and it's something that a lot of people have seen around the world. And
a friend of ours was he's a house engineer in Chungking Studios in New York, and basically when we were released from Rotten Troll Soul, we sent him over a couple of copies, and he was just playing it in the studio one night.
And he had been working with LL Cool J on the soundtrack for Deep Blue Sea, and basically they needed an extra few tracks more than what they thought they were going to be required at the beginning. So John was basically playing our CD. I'd sent it over to him in the post like maybe a couple of months earlier, and he was playing it in the studio when he was setting up. And LL walked in and said, like, you know, my God, what's that? You know, and I want that track for the soundtrack. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm on a plane to New York, and you're going out there hanging out in really top studios with like serious producers, serious engineers who work with Lauryn Hill and like, you know, Mos Def and all these big crazy names, and Run DMC are in the building while we're there, and Lenny Kravitz is in the building while we're there, and you know, it's all craziness. And then like we finished the recording, get brought to the mastering session with Howie Weinberg, who's mastered stuff like for the last 15 years at an amazing level, like done all the U2 albums and Smashing Pumpkins and LL and all these people, and then got invited to stay on for a couple of weeks, and I wrote a few tunes for LL Cool J, and it's nuts because I was in the middle of Hollis in Queens, which is a very predominantly black neighbourhood, and then one day, like, opening the door, and I was like the ultimate white cracker boy, you know, in my shorts and sandals and t-shirt in the middle of the summer in New York, and I answered the door like very cautiously, and there's a black dude standing there, and he's LL's driver, and LL's sitting out in the car like coming in to meet me, and it's like, you know, this big thing. This huge bulk of a man steps out of the car and says it's an honour to meet me, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, here's this little white country boy from Ireland, like, you know, and dealing with all these guys in the studio, and it's like staying in this house on my own where I was afraid to go outside the door, you know.
That's it. I mean, like, we the two singles that were really successful, and we were touring as well, and they'd fund it, and it was perfect. And the next step after Remote Control Soul was to get some tracks for an album together, you know. But then they parted the company, you know, it was like the record company broke down and stuff, so we were kind of stuck in the middle. Didn't know where to go or what to do.
We found ourselves getting into a rut of just playing gigs more for the sake of balancing the books, as opposed to, you know, doing gigs to promote an event or a record or something like that. We stopped enjoying it then for a while, especially playing live, because, you know, it was just a week in, week out thing. You know, you're playing in this town one night, and the next night you're playing somewhere else and playing up and down the country. And it was like we took too many gigs on, and we spread ourselves too thinly then. And there's times where you have to go through those periods of not enjoying playing live, and then you go into the studio and write loads of new material, and then you get a buzz of going out and playing that new material live to the audience again, and it refreshes it for you, you know. I suppose if you're asking me whether this would be a career choice for me, I think I made that choice a long time ago.
I've been playing in bands like for 10, 12 years, you know, non-stop. I've never not been in a band. If anything, I've been in 3 or 4 bands at a time, but I've always been in a band. Like.
But my career is in music, and I think it always will be at this stage, because it's like any profession. If you're going to spend 10 years of your life dedicating your life to being a musician or to being a producer or whatever, and then just like turn it all, you know, throw it all away, like, you know, to go and have a normal job or whatever.
It's not a question of could we do anything else. This is what we want to do, you know. We just want to make music. But would it be right?
People who spend less time on their careers in college, and, you know, they go on to, you know, to use it to their advantage and try and, you know, use it in their field. So I think if you're going to study music for 10 years and study production, of course you got to use it, because you've got all that experience and stuff. So I mean, you know, I've no doubt now it's my career path.
I've worked other jobs as well to finance my music, but it's never been the other way around. It's always been, you know, I work a job, regular job, just to finance buying drumsticks and, you know, paying for demos and rehearsals time.
clear to put in a lot of work, like, and a lot of time, you know.
I mean, it's hard sometimes because, you know, there's often times where you don't make a lot of money, but I mean, you just have to weather it because there has been times in the past where we have made really good money then as well, you know, so, I mean, and when those times happen, I mean, there's no better job in the world. It was a great time in my life, you know what I mean? And I associate Bass Odyssey with that whole period of my life and the people I've met, and not just the gigs or the records or the lack of the records or whatever, you know. We've had a great time doing it though. That's the best thing about it is, man, we've gained the best experience in our lives. We've travelled the world, you know, I've made brilliant friends out of it, you know, and that'll never change, and the memories will never go away, you know what I mean, and the mementos, and, you know, and the bruises and the scars, I mean, you know, and the laughs. That's what it was all about. I mean, that's what Bass Odyssey is to me, I mean, like...